Hi everyone, welcome to Smart Math Online Tutor. Through this video, we are going to study about direct proportions. So let's get started by looking at what is a direct proportion. Now let me explain that using some examples. Look at this. An apple is 30 rupees and if you need to buy 2 apples, the price will be 60 rupees. So here you understand when the number of apples increase, the price also increases. Similarly, look at this example. With 5.2 liters of fuel, the car can travel a distance of 10 kilometers. And when the fuel volume increase, the distance has increased to 12 kilometers. So thereby you understand when the volume of the fuel increase, the distance travel also increases. And let me show you another example. Now in this case, when the side length of a square is A, its perimeter becomes 4A. When the side length increases to 2A, the perimeter increases to 8A. So then we can say when the side length increases, the perimeter increases. Now I wish to highlight another fact here. Look carefully, in the first diagram, the side length is A. When it goes to the second diagram, it has become 2A. So that shows the A here has been doubled when it comes here. It's doubled. Similarly, the perimeter here it's 4A. Now it's 8A in the second diagram. It is also doubled. So now another important thing you should understand is the increase in the quantities are taking place in the same ratio. Now then let's see what is directly proportional quantities. If two distinct quantities increase or decrease in the same ratio, then the two quantities are said to be directly proportional. Now with my examples, you will understand it more clearly. If the quantities are increasing or decreasing in the same ratio, then such quantities are said to be directly proportional. Now in our next part, we are going to see how to work out questions related to directly proportionality. Right. There are few methods that you can follow to solve problems related to direct proportion. The first method we are going to discuss is unitary method. Now here what we do is when the problem is given, we solve it based on the value of 1 unit. So now look at this example. A person walks at a constant speed, takes 10 minutes to walk 600 meters. Calculate the distance he walks in 15 minutes. Now you have to understand first of all, this is a question based on direct proportion. You know, when the speed or when the time increases, the distance traveled will increase, right? When the time increases, the distance traveled will increase because he's going in the same speed, right? Now let's see how to do this. We know the distance walked in 10 minutes is 600 meters. Since we are following the unitary method, in our next step, we find the distance traveled in 1 minute. So if in 10 minutes, if he is going 600 meters, you know to find 10 minutes, we have to divide 600 by 10. That gives us 60 meters. Now this is the distance walked in 1 minute. So in 1 minute, if he walks 60 meters, in 15 minutes, 60 into 15, that is 900 meters. So this is how you work out a problem using the unitary method. You find for 1 unit and then you multiply and obtain the answer according to your need. Right. Now let's move into another method. That is the definition method. Right? You call it the definition method. Let me explain the definition method like this. Now in the previous case, I took this example. When 1 apple is 30 rupees, 2 apples will be 60 rupees. So I write the number of apples like this, 1 and 2. 1 apple is 30 rupees, 2 apples are 60 rupees. So here our quantities are the number of apples and their prices. So below each quantity, I am going to write the ratio. In this one, I can write it as 1:2, and in the price, I can write it as 30:60. Now you can see 30 is to 60 is not the simplest ratio. So I can cancel the zeros like this. Then I get 3 is to 6. You know 3 and 6 can be divided by 3. Then the simplest ratio becomes 1 is to 2. Now you can see the two ratios of the two quantities are equal. Right? 1 is to 2, 1 is to 2. So when you write this as a fraction, right? This side it is 1 over 2. Now the price column we can write as 30 over 60. So these two are also equivalent fractions, right? With this knowledge, right, the problem is solved using the ratio between the two quantities. Now you have to understand, if two quantities are directly proportional, the ratio between the quantities will be equal. So therefore we can write a fraction like I wrote now. With this idea, we can solve problems related to direct proportion. So let me take the same previous example. A person who walked 600 meters within 10 minutes, and same question. Let me show you how to solve this in the definition method. Now, this is how we are writing the quantities. Time in one side, distance in the other side. Within 10 minutes, he went 600 meters, he traveled, and within 15 minutes, we don't know how long he went. That is what we are going to find. So that part I have put as X here, unknown term. This is the part we are going to find. Now, we learnt before, according to the definition, they are in equal ratio. So I can write 10 is to 15 here, 10 and 15 from here, 10 is to 15 is equal to 600 is to X. Then I can write this in the form of fractions. 10 over 15 is equal to 600 over X. Remember, you have to write this in the same order. If you are writing 10 as the numerator, you have to write 600 as the numerator of the opposite fraction. Remember that, that's a must, right? The order must be followed. 10 and 600 must be numerators, and then 15 and X must be denominators. You can write it in the other way also. You can write 15 and X as numerators and 10 and 600 as denominators. No problem. You can write it like that as well. Now, the next step is we cross multiply. 15 we multiply by 600, X we multiply by 10. We do the cross multiplication like this. So it gives you 10x is equal to 600 into 15. Don't go to simplify it here. Subject x and simplify, then it will be easy. So let me subject x. Now you can cancel the 0 here and 0 here. Now 660 into 15, the answer is 900 meters. In the previous method also, we got 900 meters. In this method also, you will get the same answer. The answer will not change, only the method changes. So this is how you simplify a question using definition method. You write the ratio, then you write as a fraction, cross multiply and find the unknown term. Very simple. Right. There is one more method. Let me go to that as well. That is, right. There is one more method. Let me go to that as well. That is the algebraic method. Okay, that is the algebraic method. So first let me explain the theory, and then let's do the same sum in this method as well. So here is the theory. You know, I took this example before, as I said. When the side length is A, perimeter becomes 4A. When the side length is 2A, the perimeter becomes 8A. Now I write one quantity, the side length, over the perimeter like this. Side length is A, perimeter is 4A. So here what I have done is I have written one quantity over the other quantity. For the next diagram also I do the same thing. Right. So A over 4A, A's can be cancelled. The answer is 1 over 4. In this case, again A's can be cancelled. Then the answer becomes 2 over 8. You know 2 and 8 also can be cancelled by 4. So therefore the answer becomes 1 over 4. In both the cases, this quotient, when you divide, you are getting the same answer, 1 over 4. So in this part, what you have to understand is, if you divide one quantity by the other quantity, the answer you get is a constant. right? The answer you get is a constant. So then we can write a theory like this. Let's take two quantities as x and y, right? These two quantities must be directly proportional. This is valid only if the two quantities are directly proportional, right? Then if you write it as a quotient, if you write it as a fraction, y over x is equal to k, where k is a constant, right? Then I subject y, so we can write y is equal to k times x. Using this knowledge, we are going to do a question like this. It is the same question, the same previous question. So here, first of all, we have to decide what is x and what is y, because in algebraic method there is an x and y. The two quantities must be decided. So let me take x as the time and y as the distance, right? So accordingly, the time taken to walk 600 meters is 10 minutes. In that case, x is equal to 10, y is equal to 600. Then our equation is y is equal to kx. This is the equation we use in algebraic method. Using this equation, now we know x and we know y, right? So x and y are known. Using this equation, we are going to find out k. So once when the things are substituted, you can find k to be 60. Right, now that part is done. Then we substitute k is equal to 60 in equation 1. So instead of k, we put 60. Then the equation becomes y is equal to 60x. Right, that is also done. Now we need to find y when x is equal to 15 minutes. Right, we need to find y when x is equal to 15 minutes. Now what we do is we substitute x is equal to 15 in this equation. Right, let's do that. So y is equal to 60 into 15, that is y is equal to 900. The same answer again and again we are getting, whatever the method you follow. So we can tell the distance walked in 15 minutes is 900 meters. So these are the three methods you follow to find the answer when a problem related to direct proportion is given. And that is all about direct proportion and solving problems related to this. There is another part in this lesson, that is foreign currency. Now, what is foreign currency? Different countries have their own currency. So, if you need to change the currency of one country with the currency of another country, we have to look into the exchange rate. This exchange rate is also directly proportional to the currency. Now, let's see how to simplify problems related to foreign currency and exchange rate. Look at this example. On a day, the exchange rate is 180 rupees of an American dollar. How much can be received when 50 American dollars are converted? So, $1 is 180 rupees, $50. You can follow the unitary method. 1 American dollar is 180 rupees. Then 50 American dollars will be 180 into 50, that is 9,000 rupees. Okay, fine. Now let's go to another example. Second example, a person visiting America converted 144,000 rupees into US dollars when its exchange rate was 180 rupees per dollar. So how many dollars did he receive? 180 Sri Lankan rupees is equal to $1. That is given. Then we need to find how many dollars are there in 144,000 Sri Lankan rupees. So that you can do by dividing 144,000 by 180. Zeros will cancel and your answer becomes $800. The questions related to foreign currency will be quite similar to these two types of questions I have given you. So hope to see you with another smart math tip. Until then, goodbye.